Hari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaradhari. Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaradhari. Jai Gopi Janaballabha Giridvaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Rishabham Sabhararaja Kajaya. Astotam Satasi Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnubham Sabhararaja Kajaya. Astotam Satasi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Go Premanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Which verse is on the board? 24 is on the board. Gate to Devasasi, somebody show. Drijo Payogat Tipavitram Aharat. Rishevra Moksham Vyasanam Cha Viksha. Rishevra Moksham Vyasanam Cha Viksha. Mene Saviryam Cha Paranubhavam. Gate to Durvasasi, somebody show. Dvijo Payogat Pavitram Aharat. Risheva Moksham Vyasanam Chaviksha. Mene Saviryam Chaparanubhavam. Gate to Durvasasi, somebody show. Dvijopayogati pavitram aharat. Risheva moksham vyasanam cha viksha. Mene saviryam cha paranubhavam. Vaishnavis, Gate on his return. Ata, then. Durvasasi, the great mystic yogi Durvasa. Sa, he, the king. Ambarisha, Maharaja Ambarisha. Dvija Upayoga, most suitable for a pure Brahmana. Ati Pavitram, very pure food. Aharat, gave him to eat, and he also ate. Rishi, of the great sage. Vimoksham, release. Vyasanam, from the great danger of being burned by the Sudarshan chakra. Cha, and. Viksha, seeing. Mene, considered. Saviryam, about his own power. Cha, also. Pada anubhavam, because of his pure devotion to the Supreme Lord. Translation. Text 23. Durvasa Muni had left the palace of Maharaja Ambarisha, and as long as he had not returned, for 1 complete year, the king had fasted, maintaining himself simply by drinking water. Text 24. After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarisha sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food. And then he himself also ate. When the king saw that the Brahmana, Durvasa, had been released from the great danger of being burned, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful, but he did not take any credit. for everything had been done by the Lord. Purport. A devotee like Maharaj Ambarisha is certainly always busy in many activities. Of course, this material world is full of dangers that one has to meet, but a devotee, because of his full dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is never disturbed. The vivid example is Maharaja Ambarisha. He was the emperor of the entire world and had many duties to perform. And in the course of these duties, there were many disturbances created by persons like Durvasa Muni. But the king tolerated everything, patiently depending fully on the mercy of the Lord. The Lord, however, is situated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishta. And he manages things as he desires. Thus, although Maharaj Ambarisha was faced with many disturbances, the Lord, being merciful to him, managed things so nicely that in the end, Durvasa Muni and Maharaja Ambarisha became great friends and parted cordially on the basis of bhakti yoga. After all, Durvasa Muni was convinced of the power of bhakti yoga, although he himself was a great mystic yogi. Therefore, as stated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshiping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Thus, it is a fact that a devotee is the topmost yogi, as proved in the dealings of Maharaja Ambarisha with Durvasa Muni. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As we all know, this history of Maharaja Ambarisha and Durvasa Muni is very instructive for our bhakti, even though we're not extraordinary mystic yogis in the conventional sense, nor are we emperors of the world like Maharaja Ambarisha. Yet, even in our tiny attempts to please Krishna through devotional service, we can take impetus and realization from this history. First, let us note that even though Maharaj Ambarisha has untold wealth and power, still he has to face obstacles. We don't like this about the material world, that there should be so many impediments. Even when we take to bhakti, we still have hopes that the material world will somehow turn out to be a peaceful, disturbance-free place. And it's just not about to happen. As soon as you take a material body, situated in the material world, there must be problems. It's hard for us to imagine, but even on Brahmalok, Brahma has some problems, because that is the nature of material existence. Problematic. Therefore, Krishna warns in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma, Bhuvanaloka, Punarvatina, Arjuna, from not simply the lower planets, but up to the highest planet of Brahmalok, there are problems. So Bhagavatam is presenting how a true yogi, a bhakti yogi, handles disturbances and problems. Even Pritchett Maharaj had to face the problems of being cursed by a little boy. And he was so magnanimous, he felt that rather than counteract the curse, why not just accept the curse and die? That would be the most appropriate response. Why upset the Brahmana boy Shringi's father? Why have his father come and beg for the boy's forgiveness? The easiest thing Pritchett Maharaj thought was, I'll give up the body. Of course, he also knew that this is Krishna's desire, because as long as Pritchett Maharaj is emperor of the world, Kali Yuga cannot unfold with its full potency. Simultaneously, Pritchett Maharaj knew that this is an opportunity for Srimad Bhagavatam to be spoken. So all these reasons are colliding at once. But still, we can see, amidst all the various reasons, we see the forbearance of the devotee, the tolerance of the devotee, and the devotee's fixed vision on Krishna's service. Having a fixed vision on Krishna's service means always thinking, what will give Krishna pleasure? Ambarish, in the course of his daily activities, faced an extraordinary obstacle. He was misunderstood. Durvasa Muni, as you know, was offended. You drank water. And he created such a fiery demon to attack Ambarish Maharaj. In other words, in spite of Durvasa Muni's great mystic power, he was not a gentleman. He misused his mystic power to attack a devotee. His behavior shows a conceited attitude that those outside of bhakti, looking at bhakti activities, often have. They think that devotees are naive, they're sentimental, they're not up with how to handle the material world. So Durvasa Muni made a complete miscalculation. We should try to step into his vision and understand what was going on in his mind, because he did an extraordinary thing attacking Maharaj Ambarish like that. He was thinking, I'm seeing a king with power, wealth, material attachment, bodily conception. I am the great mystic yogi, the great Brahmana. He totally misjudged Ambarish Maharaj. So this conception is there throughout history. Even today it's there. If you're spiritual, you must not be very practical, expert in dealing with the world. But of course, the Vaishnava knows everything is Krishna's energy. Srila Prabhupada once explained, a devotee is one who knows everything about something and something about everything. To know everything about something means a devotee knows Krishna. That's supreme something. To whatever extent Krishna can be known by a limited living entity. And a devotee, he explained, knows something about everything, because in the course of the devotee serving Krishna, the devotee picks up so many skills and knowledges of this, that, the other, just by doing devotional service sincerely, day to day. But Durvasa Muni couldn't see that. He just thought, I'm seeing a king who does some devotional activities, but I have my mystic powers built up by so many austerities. Another example of this attitude of underestimating devotees or not seeing them clearly was when Kamsa wanted to send Akrura to Vrindavan to bring back Krishna and Balaram. The Acharyas reveal that Kamsa was calculating. These sentimental Vaishnavas. All right, Akrura. And he began to praise Akrura. My dear Akrura, I have no greater friend than you in the Yadu dynasty. I'm coming to you just like a great soul approaches another for charity. I have something to ask you. And then he presented his plans. That you'll go to Vrindavan, you'll bring back Krishna and Balaram. I've got a few impediments waiting for them. I've got the elephants. If the elephant Kuvalapi doesn't do his job somehow, I've got wrestlers. The boys like to wrestle. Chanura Mushtika and their crowd will take care of them. So that's my plan, my dear Akrura, my greatest friend in the Yadu dynasty. You're so magnanimous. He's flattering him, like sweet words. Vaishnavas, you just give them a lolly and give them some milk sweets and they do whatever you want. But he had an ace up his sleeve. What was the top card of Kamsa, according to his thinking? My dear Akrura, here is a brand new Mercedes chariot. No one has ever ridden on this chariot before. It's sparkling. It is dazzling. You get to drive it for the first time. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Kamsa actually thought that Akrura's mind would be blown by this. Because he doesn't understand. Kamsa doesn't understand the Vaishnava. I'll sway them with sweet words. I'll sway his mind with opulence. He'll be the first one to ride on this limousine of a chariot. But what was Akrura thinking? Just showing you, what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? What is night for one class of beings is day for the other, and vice versa. So Akrura is thinking completely the opposite. Oh, you're trying to flatter me with this flashy chariot? And you think it's going to sway my mind? Well, this is what my mind is thinking. He didn't say it out loud, but this is what my mind is thinking. I'm so glad that I get a brand new chariot to go to Vrindavan and bring back Krishna and Balaram, because I wouldn't want them to sit on a chariot that you've sat on, you demon. So this shows you. What is up for one is down for the other, and vice versa. So this gives, I think, some insight into just Durvasa Muni's miscalculation. He thought it was routine, all in a day's work. My Brahmana Tejas hasn't been respected. This king, this politician, this worldly person has dared to drink water before me. He actually thought that way and saw that way. So he had to learn a very intense lesson. And what was the medium by which this lesson was imparted to Durvasa Muni? Through the heat of the Sudarshan chakra. You could view that Sudarshan chakra burning him as punishment for offending a Vaishnava, but later, Durvasa Muni, when he comes back to beg forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni felt, this is the mercy of the Sudarshan chakra. By the burning heat of the chakra, I came to my senses. I ran all over the universe to escape the chakra, just to save my own skin. Whereas Ambarish Maharaj, when I had this fiery demon that I created attack him, he just stayed put and relied on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Durvasa Muni immediately takes off all over the universe just to save his own skin. So Durvasa Muni is thinking about this now. What's going on? Who is the real powerful person here? And he is thankful. He's grateful to the Sudarshan Chakra. The heat brought me to my senses. Now what about Ambarish Maharaj from his side? He's embarrassed. After Durvasa Muni runs to the whole universe, even somehow or other, he's able to enter Vaikuntha briefly. And he comes to beg forgiveness of Ambarish Maharaj. He's falling at Ambarish Maharaj's feet. And he's reciting prayers. This totally embarrasses Maharaj Ambarish. With our passion-tinged mind, we would probably think, I'll humbly accept Durvasa Muni's begging for forgiveness, but also, he got what was coming to him. We feel that way a little bit. He got what he deserved. It's very difficult for us to understand 100% the sincerity of Ambarish Maharaj. I mean, after all, Durvasa Muni tried to have him killed. But still, Ambarish Maharaj doesn't have the slightest tinge of revenge, anger. And his mentality is such that he feels completely embarrassed by Durvasa Muni's falling at his feet, clasping his feet, offering prayers. Then Ambarish Maharaj, as this verse reveals, has some realizations. How is it that I can be so tolerant? How is it that I can be so equipoised? It's not due to me. This is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As today's verse says, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful, but he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord. This complete dependency of Ambarish upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a lesson for us. Because the nature of this world is that there will be problems for the body, problems for the mind. There'll be social problems, political problems, economic problems. That's the nature of material existence. The Bhakti Yogi wants to get to the root of all the problems. How to solve the complete problem of material existence itself. But that is not a recognized solution amongst the so-called practical people of the world. What do you mean, trying to solve the entire problem of material existence by dealing with material existence as a complete package? No, you pick out this problem, you pick out that solution, you become famous for it. You give a little money here, you invest a little academic expertise there. That's how you handle the world. I remember, I often tell the story, during my karmic university years, I had an ambition. I want to solve all the world's problems. So my academic advisors said, oh yes, this is what the university is really meant for. We'll let you study whatever you want to study. And if at the end you find the solution to all the world's problems, come back and let us know. In other words, we already know there's no solution. But anyway, everyone's entitled to make their money and get their fame and feel charitable by trying to help this problem here, that problem there. But you think you can solve all the problems? Yeah, well, you're young, you're 18 years old. Yeah, you'll go for it. If you find a solution, which you won't, come back and let us know. Who would ever think that there is a solution to the whole package of material existence? And who would ever think that that is the most practical way to deal with all the multitude of crises and problems that the material energy presents? Get to the root of it. That's the only way the situation will be solved. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission has an extraordinary goal: to demonstrate to the world how to actually get to the root of all material problems. This is how ambitious we are. We're watering the tree at the root through devotional service, and we're also digging out the root of material existence through devotional service. So this is why it's a little difficult, not a little difficult, but very difficult for the material mind to understand bhakti. Just try to understand the difficulty Durvasa Muni had. You can actually feel some sympathy for him. Think of all the austerities he did. Think of all the mystic powers he had. And he's dealing with a king. Money, political power, householder, world influence. Durvasa Muni in no way would consider this is a spiritually potent person. So we had to learn a lesson. Ambrish Maharaj prayed to the Sudarshan chakra. And according to the acharyas, it took a while of his prayer to calm, so to speak, the Sudarshan chakra down. When the first prayers by Ambrish Maharaj didn't get the job done. Sudarshan chakra was not backing off. It was burning the hell out of Durvasa Muni. But as Ambrish Maharaj proceeded with his prayers full of bhakti, finally his prayers went out. And Durvasa Muni could see all this. He could see that he was meant to be finished, incinerated, but the prayers of Ambrish Maharaj had saved him. We all want some kind of victory in our life that we'll always remember. And that will happen to every devotee who sincerely follows the Bhakti Yoga process. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, let there be all victory to the chanting of the holy name, that is meant to be experienced. That Param Vijayate is meant to be experienced by every devotee, whether beginning or very mature. Every devotee will have some recollection at some point in his or her bhakti career that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, simply by attempting to spread the glories of Krishna, I crossed over what seemed to be insurmountable problems. We're not sentimental religionists. Oh, we believe in Krishna. Who do you believe in? What's your belief? Oh, we have this belief. Oh, you have that belief. No, we're meant to have realization. And therefore, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam means that every one of us can have the experience of conquering over what looks to be impossible just by chanting Hare Krishna and spreading Krishna's glories. Some will have bigger, more dramatic lessons than others, from bigger and measured materially, but who can say what Krishna appreciates more or less, or who Krishna appreciates more or less? But every devotee has that chance. And especially if you're going to continue your whole life with your bhakti lifestyle, your bhakti career, you will definitely have to have that victory. And you'll never forget it. Just like Ambrish Maharaj, just saying, I didn't ask for all this to happen to Durvasa Muni, but I can even see that whatever forbearance and tolerance I have, it's all coming from Krishna. He's seeing, this is Krishna's victory. This is the victory of the Supreme Personality of God. It's not due to my own credit. Every one of us has a chance to have that kind of experience in our own little way. That, how did I make it through this situation? All the odds were stacked against me. And the Param Vijayate certainly doesn't mean that from the material point of view, we come out victorious. Just like Jatayu in Ram Leela. He was a failure materially. He couldn't deter Ravana. But Lord Ramchandra performed his funeral ceremony. But we're so attached to a material victory. But the Param Vijayate means the spiritual victory. That's what Ambarish is showing. He wasn't intending to conquer Durvasa Muni. He didn't ask for the Sudarshan Chakra to hunt down Durvasa Muni. But he's seeing that in the course of my devotional service, Krishna has intervened. We can see that intervention even as a beginning devotee who's chanting Hare Krishna. You can see how your life changes. And that victory that you feel in the very beginning can also be there throughout your mature devotional life. Especially as you become an older devotee, you may hit patches in which it seems you're dry. Where's the nectar? I've been doing this bhakti process for decades now. But those dry spells, apparent dry spells, are actually a great opportunity to deepen our attachment for chanting Hare Krishna, for serving Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. So everything can be used in bhakti for that personal spiritual victory. And then you'll always remember that there was a time in my life when I thought I was dealing with impossible odds, impossible circumstances, or I felt like I'm totally flooded by material desires, there's no hope. And I took more shelter of hearing and chanting about Krishna. I took more shelter of the process of bhakti, and amazingly I passed through this phase by Krishna's grace. So that personal victory is available to everyone. And just like Ambarish's history inspires us, similarly, we can have our own history of victories. And that's a main impetus for us to go on. We remember chanting Hare Krishna can do the impossible. And then we tell others. Otherwise, we become just a bunch of religious believers. All problems can be solved by chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah, right. Prabhu, remember, all problems can be solved by chanting Hare Krishna. We just repeat it blindly. Someone new comes, chanting Hare Krishna can solve everything. But we need personal victory. We need the Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam for ourselves. And then there's potency in our words. Of course, even without our own personal victories, even as a brand new bhakti practitioner, just by repeating, there is potency. But then Krishna gives us the chance to experience what he's saying. And we never forget that. We get the chance to get a little taste of how the holy name and the other processes of bhakti, besides chanting and hearing, how they solve everything. And that's what makes us strong. One example that comes to my mind those who are participating in distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. I've had this happen to me. You open the book and start to explain it to someone, and then you start thinking, hey, this is pretty good. Yeah, some of you had that experience? Well, yeah, I better read this again. I mean, it's actually true what I'm trying to believe. Krishna gives you realization. Or sometimes you're chanting japa or you're in kirtan and it hits you. Hey, this is actually quite fantastic. So these are the personal victories. And then, of course, because we have a material body, because we live in the material world, there are impediments, there are disturbances. And then when we see that by intensifying our spiritual approach, we can pass through those disturbances. We may not come out with a materially apparent victory, but we feel the internal victory, the spiritual victory, and we become so grateful to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Just like Ambarish Maharaj is so grateful. This is not me. How did I act so equipoised and tolerant? Where did these qualities come from? This is how great a devotee Ambarish Maharaj is. All right. Any questions, comments from senior Vaishnavas? No questions? Yes. Is that Kavi Chandra Maharaj way in the back? I need my glasses for long distances.
Somebody asked me today if Sudarsan was Vishnu Tattva. I don't know.
Was Vishnu? All I know is that Sudarshan Chakra is the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm sure we have someone here who knows details like that, but in the Bhagavatam purports it's explained. Sa aikshata sa asrijataha. Vishnu glances over the material energy, and that starts the creation. That glance is the Sudarshan Chakra. It's the glance of Vishnu. Vishnu Chakra. Anything else? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. I was just wondering, did you ever go back to your university and tell them that you found the solution to all the world's problems?
Since you ask, yes. My department head ran into me when I was a young brahmachari. I was distributing books at a bus terminal in New York City. The next minute I see my department head of my studies there during my university days. This is maybe 2 years later after I finished school. And he always knew I was looking for something higher. So he came up to me and said, he called by my legal name, is this it? He was sincere. Have you found it? And of course, I sold him a book. Is this it? Have you found it? Because he knew that he was searching also, but he was helpless. So he was hoping, well, maybe you found something. Is this it? He asked me, is this it? I said, yes, this is it. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm a little confused about this, so I'm asking this question. Krishna doesn't interfere with our free will, but at the same time, Krishna's will is supreme. His plan, his desires cannot be thwarted. So how do we reconcile that with our willing or not willing something?
Krishna is always canvassing. He's always pleading. He comes himself. He has his devotees. There's so many contact points for a rebellious soul to come in touch with devotional service. You have to see the whole span of eternity, not just this lifetime. Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma. I know you've heard it before. He goes with you to whatever body you take. Big deal. What is a big deal? Well, where's the friend that will go with you to whatever body you take? But so what? Paramatma goes with me to every body that I will take. We still think we're alone. And Krishna is doing everything to show that we're not alone. So he's always trying to persuade through the Shastra, through the devotees, through the super soul in the heart. But we are very stubborn. Even if Krishna as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu floods you and drowns you, you still need to choose that you'll continue being swept away by the flood. Here's a beautiful example that Srila Prabhupada gave. Generally, in order for there to be rain, there needs to be clouds. There need to be clouds in the sky. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, this happens all the time in New Zealand, there can be a completely sunny day and rain still falls. So Srila Prabhupada explained that rain coming from the sky, apparently with no cause, with no prior conditions, no prior circumstances, that rain, that sun shower, as you call it in English, sun shower, is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does. There's no desire, there's no prior cause, still the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is coming. That's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You may have had some prior bhakti, you may not have. Still the rain is coming. But at some point in your spiritual life, after being rained on, after being showered, you have to make some choices. Otherwise, where's the ecstatic love? We have to get out of our mind this notion that forced love is ideal. Krishna just forced me to be a devotee. The more we understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, the more we can understand this whole thing about free will as well as being swept away, drowning in the flood of love of Krishna. The two are not mutually contradictory. Anything from this side? Yes, way in the back is that Ayodhya Dev. Hare Krishna.
How can we receive the mercy of Krishna but not think
Not thinking a...
Yeah, how can we think that I am receiving the mercy of Krishna? But here we have the example of Ambarish Maharaj. He's receiving that mercy, but he's not proud or thinking that I'm such a nice devotee that I'm actually qualified to receive Krishna's mercy.
As residents of Kali Yuga, we need to understand two things. Number one, how dark and crazy this day and age is, but we actually think that there's civilization. We actually think that human beings are advanced today. If we would actually understand the darkness, we would appreciate more the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And number two, we need more acquaintance with the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And then we never make the mistake of thinking This is actually me, you know. Krishna has recognized my good qualities. If you actually understood, even from the material point of view, all the cheating and hypocrisy that's present in the world today, you'd be horrified. We actually think that things are more or less okay. Got a few problems with 16,000 nuclear weapons. We've got whatever's going on with the climate. There's something in us that makes us complacent, and that is the power of the illusory energy. So two things. We need to understand the depths of darkness, how we don't live in a real human civilization, and number two, we need to understand Lord Chaitanya's mercy more. I've found in my travels throughout the world, many devotees have never read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now you're going to understand Mahaprabhu's mercy. Srila Prabhupada went through so much to give us Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He put his devotees through so much so you would have Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I know, I was there. So, two things. The dark side and the light side. We need knowledge of both. If you take Prabhupada's books seriously, you will lose faith in material civilization. But everything depends on how seriously you take those books. You don't need to study minutely all the degradation in the world. You'll never get to the bottom of it. But if you try to understand Lord Chaitanya's mercy minutely, through the lens of that mercy, you'll be able to understand everything. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.